Yep, yep. It's me again. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night for wherever part of the world you may be in. This is Denzel Jackson, and I'm thankful that you've taken the time out your day to check out my segment, check out my channel, come to my platform, and vibe with our culture, vibe with our energy. My goal is to always be authentic. I don't want to deceive anybody in anything that I do. So, I'll try my best to be as transparent about everything that I possibly can. Okay. Uh, this segment is about my four P's: principle, protection, persistence, and performance. I believe that these four P's has gotten me to the point that I am today in regards to my confidence level for understanding in regards to, like, oh, I get, if you carry principles in your business, you carry principles in your marriage, you carry principles in all your relationships with people, then you can have tremendous success. And everybody's principles will vary. And then you'll realize actually that um, a lot of principles are actually the same. I love it because you got people. I believe in the Quran. I believe in the Bible. I believe in Buddhism, and everybody's principles in their religious structure, they pretty much carry about the same um, formats. They carry the same ideologies, and one of them I always take from everybody, no matter what your religion is. I know that all religions believe in meditation. They may call it in different formats. They might call it prayer. They might call it, something else. But it's still just simply you taking your mind to focus on the task at hand, whatever is going on inside of your brain. So we just want everybody to sit down and actually write your principles. Write down the principles for your life. You and then also, if you don't have principles at the house, like our kids, what our kids do out in public is because of what we practice at home. You're not about to have my kids standing up on a table. My children aren't like that, but that's because we practice these things at home. We have a standing. We educate our children. There are principles that we live by day in, day out, that are dedicated just to our kids. There are principles that me and my wife choose to live out, so that we can continuously protect our marriage. And you see how we breaking off into protection from talking about principles. See, um, your principles are important, and one of them that I want to say to you guys, that if you are out there with a partner and you guys are thinking about longevity, I would say that y'all should debrief every single day. There should be a moment where you break down what happened already, and it's more than likely going to be at your nighttime when you guys lay in the bed together. And for those that shacking, we call it shacking, that those that shacking and y'all shacking together, come back and sit down and think about all that you have done today, and ask each other, what else would you have liked to have done today? How can I help you accomplish that goal today? So something as simple as debriefing has been one of our, like, forefront laws that we attempt to implement on a daily basis. We have affirmations that we must confess daily, and it's now a part of our law. It's now a part of our foundation. And the way that I treat myself is how I'm going to treat my family, how I'm going to treat my business. So keep your principles in line. The more principles, not even so much a more, but it's not even like a more or less thing. It's about just creating concrete principles, things that are uplifting, things that protect you. And that's where I want to get into protection. We all will define that differently too. Some people define protection as just simply carrying a pistol. Oh my God, I got a gun, I'm protecting somebody. Some people believe that protecting their children is making sure that the bills are paid, making sure the kids have a roof over their head. And this goes back to that segment about accountability. But protection is mandatory. If you are not willing to protect, your space, your home space, your creative space, if you aren't willing to protect it, uh, then you allow room for people to come in and make a mess. You allow room for people to come in and change your thoughts. But your thoughts will not be changed if you have principles. So that means that when somebody come in and they give you information, the information either gonna hit a bell that aligns with my principles or it's not. And you would tell because it don't hit that bell, it don't create that tune, it don't give you that frequency that you have already instilled inside of you and your lifestyle. So protection is seeing and knowing when you are about to be faced with adversity, or even if it's actual vessels that you see an enemy. But I'm not talking about physical protection. I'm talking about mental protection, spiritual protection. I'm talking about financial protection. Financial protection in our realm would be that we dump money in the stocks. Like that's how we protect money in the finance. Obviously real estate is another great one. Just in case you guys didn't know, I bought my first house when I was 22 years old, 3,500 square feet, sitting on 17. The land was 3,500 square feet. The house was 1,700 square feet, and I lost my first house due to back taxes. So I have experience. I know what it takes to go down to the Wayne County Treasury. I wasn't fortunate enough to have somebody actually uh, show me this process. I learned a lot of things, you guys, on my own, and you will see that throughout the course of this experience with me through time. But I had bought my first house at 22. Um, but I see I didn't sidetrack and got off thinking about that because I was trying to build a foundation. And at that time, oh, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. I know I don't really like putting a lot of things out there like this, but I wasn't fortunate enough to have a partner that was willing to protect my ideas. I remember when we bought the house, it was a fixer upper. I mean, it was a fixer upper project. But when I bought the house, um, my female counterpart at that time, did not, she was not adamant, or I did not feel as if somebody was encouraged by something that I had done. I didn't feel protected. I didn't feel like she was somebody that saw the vision and was interested in protecting me. And that was another reason on why I was just so, the person that, if the person that you sleep with, I'm glad, thank you, universe. Thank you, God. If the person that you sleep with doesn't see your vision, it's going to be very challenging for you to accomplish it. I'm going to say that again. If the person that you lay in your bed with, if the people that you sit around and eat with, conversate with, watch TV with, if they don't see your vision, it will be a very challenging experience to get it done. You need to always be around people that see your vision. And it's necessary for you to do that. Otherwise, you will find yourself not being able to protect your thoughts because now you start to question them and like, dang, these are the people that I actually communicate with daily. They know how I feel. They know what I'm going through. And so nobody care about that. That's not what's important, how you feel and what you're going through. That's not important. What's important is you continuously waking up and executing. I don't do everything based off how I feel. Feelings is one thing. Actions is another, but feeling can be destructive. Your feelings can truly be destructive. I think I read a study way long when I was younger in my days, and NIT said that the average person transition in emotional moods about 16 times in a day. Like their emotions transition 16 times in a day. You don't want to fluctuate that much. It's hard to protect yourself if you fluctuate that much. You should stay consistent in a nature and recognize when there are things or people that may come about to cause your nature to adjust. All right, I'm getting off in other subjects. So what was that? Principles, protection, and these last two have to be my favorite, but persistence, for being persistent. Like I don't even really have to say more than that. Like just keep going. And when I think about being persistent, for some reason in my mind, I think about precision. And I think about persistence, I think about precision because it's not what you do, it's how you do. Because you can be consistently fucking, this video ain't made for kids, huh? You can be consistently messing things up, okay? I'm gonna get better with this, okay? I'm still new to this. This still my channel. I'm still new to my channel and everything. I don't want to mess up any community guidelines. YouTube, I love you guys. Thank you for the opportunity. But uh, you can be persistent at messing up things, and you will know because it's hard in my mind though for you to be persistent at messing up if you follow the principles first and protection next. The moment that you walked into something, like say I keep on investing into like at one time, so okay, let me give you another example in business, persistence, right? I had two locations. One location profitable. I have two employees at another location, and I ain't making no money. I was persistent. I was persistent. I got multiple locations. I'm persistent. There was, I did it. That's how I was feeling. But it went against principle and it went against protection. It went against principle because why you got doors open at a place that isn't making money? It went against protection because now you're losing finances because you have to pay employees, and they're just over there and it's not making any money. I mean, it's not making money, but you have to spend money. So if I look back at the principles of my business and the principles of myself, if I followed by my rule of engagement for protection, then I would have been persistent at just keeping one location open instead of having multiple locations at a time. Uh, and last but not least, performance. You guys, I love performance. In marketing, we always used to say, don't sell the steak, sell the sizzle. As in, steak is steak. And, Applebee's sells steak, Logan sells steak. What's another one? Steakhouse, Ruth Chris, all Chili's, all of these places sell steak, but everybody sell their steak differently. Some people put a sizzle on their steak. Some people put garlic butter on their steak. Some people put 2 pieces of asparagus on their steak. Some people tell you that this chopped steak and it got a sizzle first. Okay, everybody sell T-shirts and clothes. Everybody, we're no, you don't. There's no need to reinvent the wheel in the business world. You guys, don't attempt to reinvent the wheel in the business world. You're wasting your time. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Find a lane that already exists that you fell in love with, and then put your sauce, put your culture on it. Right now, here's a prime example. YouTube already doing its thing. I don't. This the steak part in my mind. The sizzle is instead of me giving y'all real raw content, showing you somebody with nappy hair get the clean cut, make sure I got the hair right, make sure everything's right. You know what I'm saying? Like, then that's my sizzle. Well, for me, I prefer to sell you steak, and the steak is real concrete, trial and error. Uh, real the nitty gritty on how to be successful, on how to actually make money. I once again, my accomplishment is I've made $1,000 in a day with 3 different entities, um, and that was over like the last 2 years. But no, that's a lie. In total, I've had 5 entities that have done $1,000 in one day. Like each one has done its own. It showed its power in each business. So when I speak, I'm speaking from somebody that actually had to sell one item at a time to accomplish my goal, and I understand and I know what it takes to do those type of things. So but I don't want to sizzle on my channel because I want my kids and I want my kids to see the rawness and the real of their father. I want them to see who I am in depth and genuinely. You guys, have wonderful days in sales, and I would be outside with some flip flops on, and that's because I love myself. Like I consider my world to be complete in a sense. Like if I never was able to create another business, I understood the magnitude of what I am, and I'm thankful for that. So I dive a lot of my energy into my children, into my family, and into my businesses. And the people that that my customers, like I have customers, clients, I have customers, okay? And that's who get the most out of performance from me. And I love to perform, you guys. I love to perform. I'm going to do some more poetry segments. I'm going to throw it on the channel as well, do some poetry. Uh, but performance is where you get to show yourself. And I wanted my performance to be my steak and not the sizzle, you guys. So, and I'm eventually spice things up and do things like everybody else per se, because once again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. But performance is so performance can determine on if you're going to make $1 million this year or you're going to make nothing. Performance is whether or not, if you have principles, you have protection, and you built a brand. So you didn't build a brand, it stands on something, and you understand what the dynamics is so that nobody can change it. Nobody can change what you've already built. Now it's time to highlight the creation and performance, you guys. Performance. Be the best in your performance, and that's with customer service. That's with actually creating the details of the product. It's everything. It is livelihood, and I get that's why I keep on saying that this YouTube channel is going to get better, because I know that this is about me selling my performance, and I want to make sure that we stay connected, and that's why I'm gonna constantly put out content, and this is daily for me. Every day, information is downloaded, or every day I run into somebody and we can have an in-depth conversation. And I've learned that I have a place now where it can just be kept, so that in 10 years, 20 years from now, people can have the opportunity to reflect and can see themselves in me. And that's what I hope that you do. I hope that every time you engage or every time you communicate with me, that you see yourself. Because I am you, no more, no less. I know plenty of rich people with filthy amount of money, and none of the money matters, because what you will learn is that everybody got a mentality, and some rich people got messed up mentalities. I'm telling you from experience, their mentalities is not conducive to saving the world. They just know how to get money. So you got to identify with that. Like, what exactly is your goal? Are you trying to save the world? Because if you're trying to save the world, then you may not need no money. You don't need money to save the world. You don't need money to save the world. Everybody else think you need money to save the world. You don't need money. You need money to feed people, but saving the world of its identity. And when I say saving the world, you don't save the world because you fed everybody. No, you save the world because you helped the world embrace love even more, and that's symbolic. That's not a that's not a physical attribute. That the physicality of saving the world, that's not it. Wars do not save the world. People like Bob Marley was trying to save the world. Their whole thing was to help you be human, because that's what we are. We're humans, you guys and ladies. We're humans. So I guess I got a little bit I want to save the world in me too. I enjoy making money, uh, but I would give you the clothes off my back. I would give you what I have. I don't mind doing that. Like, and I got we're gonna do segments on that. I saw some cool things on giveaways. I just didn't feel comfortable at first pulling out the camera in regards to giveaways, or like going down um, to the streets of Houston and actually feeding the community. I've been doing that for years. I actually distanced myself from colleagues because they would not join me in feeding the homeless, but they would join me in drinking and smoking and stuff like that. So I want to stay away from anything that isn't, you know, attempting to be better, or more influential than the day before. So this is love, this is peace, and this is happiness. And we talked about principles. Make sure you have good principles. Make sure you know how to protect your intellectual property, protect your mentality, protect your ideology, protect your notions. Don't allow somebody else to come in and change what you are building and protecting. And be persistent at it. Stay persistent at whatever that may be. Do not let up, and check back with your principles and protection to see that if you are persistent in the right thing. And once you do that, well, now it's time to go crazy, okay? And perform your butt off. Be the best performer that you know how to be. Hard work outbeats talent. Anytime talent doesn't want to work hard. And I know I felt that. Okay, so hard work outbeats talent. Anytime talent doesn't want to work hard. It's love, peace, and happiness. This is Denzel Jackson, and I'm coming back to you from the Jackson's headquarters, just trying to vibe with you guys and let you know that I am you and you are me. So leave a comment, like, and subscribe. Leave a comment down in the section. Just give me something. Give me you. Give me you. I'm here for you. I do this out of love. My daddy used to say it like the sauce I'm giving you guys, like people pay for this type of information. Like I'm a coach. I'm public speaking. You know what I'm saying? Just inbox me if you can get in contact with me for public speaking. And okay, we'll talk about that and what's my fee. But I do this out of love. I don't earn anything off of these YouTube clips, not yet at least. You know, I'm hoping that the world catch our views, but I don't earn anything on this. This is out of love. So if you saw this, I just want you to know that I love you. Like 5 years from now, 10 years from now, this is from love, and I want to see you succeed. I want to see the people that I love to see the underdog have a chance and can possibly be great, and that's what it's about. So love, peace, and happiness. This is Denzel Jackson. I'm coming to you again with the 4 P's of the day, and enjoy yours. All right, now you be good.